Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the big show. I am your host, Jerk. Happy Friday. Are you all excited for the freaking weekend? Are you ready to have some fun? Well, I'm ready. And hopefully we'll do a live show tomorrow, but why wait for tomorrow when we still have today? And today, I'm excited to tell you we got something special in store for you. No, not a clean sweep. Well, exactly. But, well, you know what? Just stick around and you'll see. So, to take you to the magic of the moment on a glory night where the children of tomorrow dream away in the winds of change, let's get today's guest out here. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for another first-time guest, the Tech Tree Tier 5 Russian heavy cruiser and the Widow Buddha of the Molotov. Give it up for Gorky. Yes, the Gorky, the last step to what I imagine will be a joyous experience with the Talon, which I will have to grind before we get the Riga on the show, and this truly does feel like a test of one's patience. All of these lower tier Russian heavies are quite fragile, and I can imagine they will be quite difficult for newcomers to really get a grasp on. But hold on, I'm skipping the magic of the moment. So let's get the commander and modules up on the big screen, and it's Christian Kana with Mr. Clean and Stormin' Norman Scott with his Betty Davis eyes. If any of you were around last week for the Azuma video, then you know I find North to be an excellent Kraken producing map, and specifically where I spawned this time. It is the exact location as the... Hello, Akotnik. Alright. Anyway, it is the exact location of the Azuma, which was the exact location of, I think, my last jackpot in the Vladivostok as well. And in the Azuma video, I mentioned how I have a preferred position for cruisers, and so you aren't seeing double unless you're already slizzard on the scissor. No, I have taken the exact same position as I did in the Azuma. Why? Well, because this is a good heavy cruiser position, whereas the little island behind me is a good light cruiser position, but our blue Dallas is going to come up here by me as they too want to hear the winds of change. I wonder if the Dallas knows that we will become so close, like brothers. What you talking about, jerk? Other than the obvious Scorpion song references, alright, I'll tell you. Myself, the Dallas, and the Arizona, the three of us that spawn down here, we are going to sink the entire red team as they try to endlessly win harder. Now, I'm not saying we do it entirely by ourselves, but we do most of it by ourselves. And with these randoms, there is actual pinging of the map and requesting support and acknowledgement. And here I thought the comm wheel was just for spamming your team to get back. Anyway, status report, Mr. Data. We know we've got this New Mexico down here and a Podvoisky, and it looks like this cruiser on the other side of this mountain, but that cruiser is from the B spawn, and I think the destroyer was as well, because I was never spotted getting into position, and there we see we got a Krispy Kreme over there. Now, I'm not particularly threatened by the Krispy Kreme, though. Hold on, let's get one more shot out at this New Mexico. Alright, but our poor Akotnik that gave me the touch earlier, well, they're going to go out there and get nuked. And you may have noticed that another member of our team has already been sunk. And we're going to start to see many members of the blue team get sunk while we continue to do our business down here. Now, I didn't notice it when I was playing it, but there was another cruiser spotted there for just a second, but I do see it that time. And so what I'm doing right now is I am trying to get a turn in so I can get myself angled and get my turrets turned around to be able to deal with these cruisers. Now, we all know the Omaha. Yes, its reputation precedes it. It is made out of citadels. It has paper-thin armor. It can overmatch itself. You might consider it the Yamato of cruisers, but except only Yamato can overmatch itself. How did that not dev strike? I thought everything was a devs. Oh my. Hold on. He's stopping. Ah, there we go. There's our dev strike. 4 citadels on the Omaha, and they are not really one shot, but essentially one shot. Now, we are expecting the Krispy Kreme to be coming around the mountain when it comes, and there it is. But put your eyeballs up on the mini-map. There is another cruiser pushing between B and A. So while the New Mexico is trapped behind these large islands, it is my intentions to get rid of as many red team ships as I can before that New Mexico becomes a threat. We're still not going to abandon our cap because we win our side, and then we get the cap, and then we can move out, regardless of what is happening elsewhere. It is a dirty job, but somebody has to do it. And Nuremberg, sailing broadside. Didn't get him on that one, but I think we get him on this one. And this is going to be our second ship sunk, and the third ship sunk of my little division down here of randoms. So you've probably noticed that I seem to be getting a lot of damage from these 180mm guns. How can that be? Because balance. Longtime viewers know I love Russian heavy cruisers and have been asking for them to be added into this game for, maybe a year now. And while I don't believe Gorky has the improved pin angles, like Pyotr Bagration, Riga, and I think Tallinn, at this tier, this AP is pinning everything. And speaking of everything, we've got a Pensacola coming around broadside now. I wonder how this is going to end. Oh, you got to be kidding me. But we go ahead and pick up the high caliber and Confederate already. Wow. And just like that, we are down to the last 3 of the blue team. And there are still 5 red ships left. At one point, this was a 3-on-7. Anyway, you're going to see me look over to my Dallas and request some help right now. And would you believe what this Dallas does? They say, acknowledged. And I'm going to go ahead and put on my hydro because we just have to get rid of this. And look at that, the Dallas is shooting this ship with me. You just don't see teamwork like this too often, but Podvoisky drops spot. I'm going to go ahead and push him because I'm going to spot him with my hydro. I know this Podvoisky has some pretty quick torps, but even though this has a terrible, terrible turning circle, a gap of this size, even this ship can fit between there, and we're going to get that off. And what is that? That's number 3. And then we're going to turn and hopefully not get blapped by the New Mexico. But I will say this much. That New Mexico has just been shooting at the Dallas incessantly. I guess they think that that's the only ship that could damage them. Yeah, see, they could have easily wiped me out right there. I'm switching back to AP because they're showing some decent broadside. And you're also going to see I'm going to shoot above their torpedo belt. And I'm not going to yoink this. I'm just simply trying to make sure that they go down. And in fact, the Dallas that's with me is going to get this ship sunk. But check the shot. Look at how tight that shell grouping is. And what, we do about 5,000 damage right there. That's pretty good. Oh, hold on. Let's bounce that off the belt. I don't know. Somehow that hits my gun. And we are finally recapping this base. And look at what's going to happen here. The Dallas is going to ping the map and say, hey, let's head here. And while I complete this giant turn, it is a bit of an 8-point turn. I do say acknowledged, and I am down to clown. I am like, hey, okay, this is where our teammate wants to go. Now, let's just ignore this point where I tell the Arizona to get back, because fortunately, they ignore me, and it's a good thing they do, or we may not have won this match. So I'm going to complete my 8-point turn, and then we're going to be plowing ahead here with the Dallas. So the reason I was telling the Arizona to go back to that location was because I just figured the Fuso would continue down this way. But once I come around this island, we're going to spot them, and for whatever reason, they are just shooting randomly into this cap, which is whatever. But we can see they're also turning into B now, which, whatever. Follow the Moskva down to, hold on. Accidental AP yoink there, not that I think anyone minds, and out comes this broadside Devonshire. Unfortunately, I think I shoot that salvo just too early, or I may have been able to save our Dallas. I do wish there was an icon or something that showed if your teammates were using hydro or radar. I'm just curious if our Dallas was there, because if so, what great teamwork. Though, again, they do get sunk. Nonetheless, Devonshire has guns that overmatch my bow and tube by tube torps, so I've hit the brakes, pal, and am reversing. But we'll get one more salvo into the broadside for Kraken 325 in the Gorky, blowing straight into the face of time like a storm wind that will ring the freedom bell. So you remember how I said it was a good thing that the Arizona didn't listen to me? Imagine if they had. They'd be stuck on the north side of the island, and I would be stuck here to deal with the Fuso, and we would lose this match. I mean, I'm not most likely going to survive this encounter, but because I know our Arizona is full health behind me, well, I can go ahead and try and pick up this 6-pack here. Oh, they drop spot. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have kept just going at that angle, because watch, this Fuso unloads that whole salvo into the rock. But for whatever reason, I go for this turn and to go ahead and drop torps from this side, and then I'm like, ooh, and now I'm going to get torps off from the other side. I think if I just kept going at the angle that I had originally planned and then been able to turn in, that I probably would have connected more torps, and I probably would have got this 6-pack. But as it is, hey, save some for everybody else. I get killed. He's got no health. Our Arizona is going to get them on the next salvo, and we will be able to enjoy the magic of the moment on a glory night, where the children of tomorrow dream away in the wind of change. Let's see that scoreboard. 3,173 XP for a very good game. And you know, I have got to give props to Soup Kitchen Larry and the Dallas and the rest of the blue team, and I guess thank the red team for trying a little too hard and winning themselves to death. And that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you walk down the street of distant memories that are buried in the past forever, then hit like. If you prefer the August summer nights with soldiers passing by, hit dislike. Questions, comments, queries, leave them down below. And if you would like myself to take you to the magic of the moment on a glory night, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, folks. I will get back out there for another one soon, and we will talk